So I came out to sunny San Diego to talk to you guys right here at the marina. But it is freezing, so I'm going back to my car. Woo, back where it's warm. Let me find a good parking space and get this video going. Okay, so this seems a little bit better, and I'm in my car, and if you remember videos from me before, you know that I do a lot of car videos and I call them car shenanigans. So we're just gonna chop this up as a car shenanigan. Nevertheless, let's move forward. I just wanted to send like a little short, hopefully this will be really short, to just share a little bit. Got some cheat notes down here, kind of help out the situation. A friend of mine sent me a video and I thought it was really impressive of just how a woman came over, how she got over her fears, and how she did things in life. I was totally impressed by it, as I am a motivational, inspirational speaker. And it reminded me of a little tidbit, a little reel that I heard this morning that had 50 cents on it. And 50 cents had said, he said, "I don't owe anyone, and neither do you." And I thought it was such a good video. It had a lot to do with entitlement. And he talked about you only feel betrayed when you feel like people owe you something. And you only feel resentment when you have expectations for the assistance. That was phenomenal for me. You know, I'm going to walk away with that. He really was talking about the entitlement and accepting who you are and all that you can be. And he talked about how liberating that can be. And I thought, what a liberating statement, what a little liberating reel to watch, and a piece of something to hold on to motivate you and encourage you in what I want to talk about. And I really want to talk about being the best you that you can be. Your haters are going to hate. So I'm going to give you a little example of, I wanted to travel. And I remember in my family, you know, my mother would say, "Gosh, I wish that I would have traveled." There were a lot of people in my family who wished that they would have traveled around the world, gone to Africa, gone to India, gone to Spain. And I know my brother had, because he was in the military. And he didn't get to travel exactly where he wanted to go. He had to travel where the military sent him. And so that was our first introduction to knowing Guam. You know, it was like, oh. And so I think at the time he was building Guam. He was helping them build Guam. And so he was told that he couldn't get into the military because he was too short, and all of these things of why he couldn't. But he pushed through it, and he barely made it, but he did it. And so for me, I wanted to travel, and I remember telling people I wanted, you know, to do this, and I was terrified because I realized that the only way that I was going to be able to travel was either join the military or just do it. And just doing it would mean that I would be alone. And when I got the opportunity to go to Africa, the very first time that I went with a group of students. I still was terrified. I was so terrified that when things start hiccuping, I pulled out. I pulled my money back. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go. This isn't working right. Maybe I'm not supposed to be going. And then something deep down inside was like, no, you need to go. And so I called the travel agent and said, yeah, I'm back on with the group. She said the price went up. So I still paid the price to go. And what a phenomenal price to have paid. I end up loving it, fell in love with it, learned so much about who I was as a person, as having Nigerian ancestry. It was a beautiful thing for me. I was invited to come back and share some career, some professional oriented to the school of Lagos University. I had a phenomenal time. I met some really great people. I've got some really great mentors, and I've become a great mentor to some of the Nigerian people there, the students there. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad that I did it. But if I would have held on to my fears and found any excuse not to have done them, if I would have listened to other people who told me that I couldn't go, I wouldn't have that phenomenal experience or had that international piece to put on my resume of being able to teach and study with the people of Nigeria to help them redevelop and redesign their program. What a phenomenal piece to be in. What a phenomenal piece to be representing San Diego State University in that capacity, all by myself. And so you have to remember that people are going to hate even when they don't know they're hating. Sometimes people are so scared of their own lives that they're scared for you because they can't do it themselves. And so when you live life for yourself, that's very liberating. When you live life without the limitations of others limiting you, that's liberating. You are liberated and you achieve your best life doing things afraid. I remember going to a Joyce Myers event, and she said, I am always afraid doing certain things. And she said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it afraid. And now she speaks everywhere. And even if she gets nervous, she still does it afraid. And I remember her saying, fear, God didn't make fear. You know, he didn't give us the spirit of fear, rather. But the enemy does, you know, demons do. Demons love fear. They torture people with fear. The fear of not knowing, the fear of, oh my gosh, what if this happens? And there's so many things that, you know, that kind of keep us in bondage. And she says, show the devil and do it afraid anyway. And I loved it. And so I wanted to share with you, show the devil, show your haters, show yourself. Do it afraid anyway. Do it. Do not be constricted with the limitations that people give you. If they give you something that says, if you go to Africa, you're going to be kidnapped. Well, look it up. Find out. What's the percentage of people being kidnapped and what can you do to protect yourself? But don't give up on the dreams that you dream based on other people's limitations. Live your best life. As 50 Cent said, you don't owe anyone. You don't need to prove to anyone. You're just proving it to you. You're just living for you. And when he made that comment, said, we only feel betrayed when we feel like you owed us something. You don't owe anybody, and nobody owes you. You only owe it to yourself to be the best you. You can't feel betrayed. You can't say, man, I would have, could have, and should have done, but you know, that person stopped me. No. They don't owe you anything. There is no betrayal. If they didn't do what you thought they would do, it's only because of the expectations that you had. And when he said that, I resonated with that so much, because he said, you only feel resentment when you have expectations for the existence. And I remember someone telling me so long ago, the only reason you get disappointed in relationships is because of the expectations that you have. The only reasons why there's so many failed marriages is because of the expectations that they had. And so if we could live without the expectations of anything more than just being our best and living our best self, loving ourselves without depending on the expectations of how someone should love us, we could be our best, and we could love our best, and we could do our best. So cheers to you. I hope you find your best as I am finding my best life. Even in the times of crises, I am still my best. I love you all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all everywhere. I'm Tanetta Marie.